Wow. This feels unreal.
They're actual live people staring at us, Antonio.
I'm feeling nervous. Should we say something?
Okay, same here. Okay, yeah, on the count of 3. 1, 2.
Wait. Am I saying something first or are you?
You. So I'll count you down. 1, 2.
Stop, okay? We should say it together as we did in the past 2 years.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right.
1,
1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone! And welcome to the 17th International Youth Media Summit 2022 edition.
We will be your hosts for tonight's opening ceremony. My name is Rebecca Čuljak.
And I'm Antonio Britvar. Some of you may know us from former summits, either in person or digital.
But for those of you who had the luck not to meet us yet...
She's kidding, we are nice.
Antonio is the youth committee chairman and board member. I am a youth committee member. We come from Croatia and have hosted the last 2 summits in their digital form.
We are your companions in the following 12 days, so when in need, ring us up and follow our lead.
Nice rhymes. So, before the speeches and all that mumbo-jumbo, let us walk you through what IYMS has been up to in the meantime.
Well, the pandemic happened and you responded. Together we accomplished the unimaginable. 2 virtual International Youth Media Summit events with over 100 filmmakers and diplomats from 26 countries, making 14 short films.
A special project that IYMS has been implementing since 2020 was also presented. It is Sanazione web series that brings the stories of filmmakers filmed in real time as the pandemic spreads around the world. 17 episodes have been completed and 3 more are in post-production.
Pilot project, Our Lives, Our Stories, Our Countries, produced by Wicked Wales Film and International Youth Media Summit, brought together a group of young filmmakers from Wales, India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, getting to know how similar they are, no matter where they're from, producing 7 short films.
During the summit, we will see the first private premiere of John, a feature film made by our veteran IYMS family member, Babar Ali, co-produced by IYMS.
And last but not the least, we are so excited to announce our partnership with the youth section of the UNESCO headquarters. IYMS will be their youth media and communication partner, and we're so honored to take this role. Thank you.
Now, it's time to take a break from us, so let us introduce you to your hosts this year, Anna Eriksson and Emma Nordström.
But don't worry, we'll be back to throw even cheesier jokes. Anna and Emma, the stage is yours.
Okay, welcome all of you to Sweden for the second time, and to the southern Sweden, to Region Halland, and to Katrineberg Folk High School, and to the film school that is here. So warm welcome here. My name is Anna Eriksson, and I work as a film development officer at Region Halland at the Cultural Department. And here is...
Hi everyone, I'm Emma Nordström, and I am a filmmaker and this year's project manager for IYMS. Yeah?
And Region Halland is a member of IYMS, and we have a long engagement in IYMS, which is very important. And this year is very special because Emma is, she has committed to work with this project with her company, Movie Motion. And you're a filmmaker in Movie Motion. Can you tell me some more about that?
Yes, absolutely. I started that production company after I ended my film education here in 2015. So I started to make short films and had different kinds of projects and was freelancing. And now I have continued that work. So now I also have Movie Motion in Norway. So I'm making films there as well. So yeah, and this is the second year that I'm here in the both Katrineberg for Summit and my second summit. The last time was in 2000, well, the first time was in 2017 when I was a part of the technical team back then. And it was so nice to just be a part of the summit that year because, you know, the first year you don't really know what to expect. And yeah, it was just an amazing experience, really, yeah.
So what else did we forget to say now? A very warm welcome to all of you, and of course, especially welcome to all of you that are sitting around in the world watching this right now. I'm so happy that you're with us. So, should we leave this to Rebecca and Antonio?
Thank you. Thank you so much for welcoming us this year.
You meant thank you so much for saving us the trouble of hosting another summit, free at last.
Calm down, we still have some talking to do.
Here comes another cheesy part.
This year's theme in Sweden, Faces of Courage, is very timely. With recent events, we've seen the importance of individuals standing up for humanity. We encourage all youth to find ways, big and small, to act with courage, and join with us to create the model for a courageous, cooperative world community.
We finally got to meet in person this year. 60 of us will be here and many more online with one mission. But right from the start, we must be aware of how incredible this opportunity actually will be for all of us. 2 years ago, we envisioned inviting IYMS to our homeland, Croatia. And you could not travel, but some of you were there, online.
Then for another year, we told you that you will come, and you did, in greater numbers physically, but still not all of you. We changed our dimensions and stuck to our screens just to see each other again, to create and share stories together.
We always believed nothing can stop us from joining forces. But now there is solid proof for it. If any of us ever could even lack motivation, just tell us we can't do something, and it will be done. In a way you could not have imagined.
More than ever before, we are very excited to move back to the worldly dimensions and see you in full spirit and glow. Finding a way to create captivating stories will always be our main goal. But never forget why this is. The vivid dream of IYMS is to end all of the 7 issues. And end them we can because we know how, and because we are so alike. The only challenge left for us to complete is to spread this newfound knowledge as far as we can.
And film is just one of the tools we can use to do it. As you transition to a new era by experimenting with different storytelling skill sets, remember your mission. Some people may say this cannot be done. So let's show them how it's done, our way.
And to motivate us a bit more, who better to invite to the stage than the head of IYMS family, our dear mom and an even better guide than Yoda, Evelyn Subert.
Just can never resist stormy weather, says Mommy. I'm going to pick up where I left off in the my welcome letter to you. I don't know if you remember, I talked about joy. How many of you are feeling some joy this evening? Good. So now I'm with an interactive poll. Remember on Zoom when we always had polls in their classrooms? Jonathan and Holden, can I ask you to count? I'm going to take a poll because it's easy to feel joyful when you've had wonderful fika and wonderful dinner and you're all dressed up, you have all your friends around you. But I want to ask you, what do you think can lead you to indestructible joy? Okay? I'm going to pick 3 things, and you're going to vote on which you think is the one that is the most effective way to indestructible joy. So, number 1, so Holden, Jonathan, you ready to count? Where are you? Oh, yes, there you are. Holden, where are you? Okay, good. You ready to count? Okay, so I'm going to read all 3, and then you're going to vote. Number 1, to lead you to indestructible joy is having plenty of money so that you and your family feel secure. Number 1. Number 2, Wait. No questions, please. Number 2, wait till I say all 3 and then you can vote. Some people want to vote for all 3, I know. Number 2 is doing good for others. That's number 2. Number 3 is achieving a life that gets praise from your family and your friends. So once again, number 1 is having plenty of money so that you and your family feel secure. Number 2 is doing good for others. And number 3 is achieving something in life that you get praise from your family and friends. Okay, so pick the one that you want to vote for. Vote for only one. And how many people vote for number 1, having plenty of money so that you and your family feel secure? Jonathan and Holden are going to count. No one votes for that one. How many people think that doing good for others leads to indestructible joy? And number 3, how many think that achieving a life for praise from family and friends? So scientists agree with the majority of the people in this room. They have done studies and found that the greatest way to get to indestructible joy is to do good for others. And Brigitte, do you remember when we met Archbishop Desmond Tutu? One of the Nobel Peace Prize laureates, along with the Dalai Lama, and they have been talking about how to get to indestructible joy. And they met and talked about this, and the Dalai Lama talked about the way that we heal our own pain is actually turning to the pain of others. It is a virtuous cycle. The more we turn toward others, the more joy we experience. And the more joy we experience, the more we can bring joy to others. The goal is not to just create joy for ourselves, but as the Archbishop poetically phrased it, to be a reservoir of joy, an oasis of peace, a pool of serenity that can ripple out to all those around you. Now, any of us that have been to the summit in Nepal felt that. Nepal is not the richest country in the world. Its people are not the most well known. But all of us that have been there have felt that pool of serenity and joy. And so that is one of the things that makes us so happy to come to the summit. It makes us fight to come to the summit. Because it's one thing to do good for others, but when you're in a community of people doing good for others, your joy is immensely increased like that. So one thing that makes us extremely unhappy is when we don't have our family there. When we're separated from the ones we love, it's the opposite of joy. It's just despair. And we've been feeling that so much for the last 3 months because there were 14 people this year that could not get their visas, that could not be with us tonight. And I'm going to read their names because they're not with us here physically, but they are going to be with us during the summit. Because for the first group that I'm reading, we're going to find a digital pen pal for them that's going to connect us to the activities of the summit. So first is Godfrey from Ghana, Ahmad from Afghanistan, Farhad from Iran, Hafida from Morocco, and Bochola from Rwanda. And I apologize for mispronouncing those names. So let's give them a round of applause. And the next 9 people are going to be doing a summit first. It's going to be a satellite summit in Nepal, and we are going to have Sanket. Oh, forgive me, this is going to be meshing your names. Sanket, Manish, Rabin, Bakesh, Saramsh, Suman from Nepal, and they're going to be joining Nishamath, Nidhi, and Kiran. Nishamath and Nidhi from India, and Kiran from Pakistan. And they just decided this morning that they were going to do that they were going to go. And you cannot believe, Brigitte told us this morning about having a suitcase heart. And you cannot believe the joy that they have knowing that they're going to be going and meeting with their other IYMS family friends. And so I think Karen said it the best. She said, you know, COVID couldn't stop us, visas can't stop us. We're together. So I wish you the most joyful summit, and if ever you're feeling a little down, you didn't get enough rest, just turn around and do something good for someone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. You truly have a gift of speech. We also dearly miss our friends who couldn't make it to Sweden this year. So again, very special greetings to all of them and all of you following us online.
Hopefully soon enough, the time will come when we will all be able to meet together physically again. Our IYMS network keeps expanding, and we couldn't be more thrilled about it. During the last 2 years, we've connected and collaborated with numerous amazing UNESCO representatives, diplomats, filmmakers, and change makers.
One of them is Michael Croft, our friend and colleague from UNESCO Nepal. Here to greet you virtually, welcome, Michael.
Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Croft. I'm the UNESCO representative in Nepal, and I'm very happy to speak to you on the occasion of the International Youth Media Summit in Sweden in 2022. I'm talking today from Kathmandu. And Kathmandu in Nepal is a wonderful place, and also somewhere where UNESCO has been collaborating with the colleagues from International Youth Media Summit on the ground. In this particular context, we met with the colleagues from IYMS because of our interest in youth programming, and the fact that UNESCO is all in for youth in Nepal. Why we were really attracted to the discussion, to the partnership with IYMS, was the fact that UNESCO sees itself as not speaking for young people, but wishing more for the organization to be a platform, to give young people the time, the space, and the place that they need to come together to articulate whatever it is that they want to articulate in terms of messages, and then use UNESCO as a way to amplify those messages to the world. In many aspects, I think that that's probably a lot what the summit is, actually. It's something that we're trying to do here on the ground in Nepal, but it's something that you're trying to do, all of you together, in Sweden over the summer. Why is this important? Well, this year's theme is Faces of Courage, Transforming a Post-Pandemic World. I think we can all agree that the world does need transforming, and we certainly did need a pandemic to prove so. My generation hasn't had very stellar performance in terms of leaving the next generation behind with, let's say, lots of hopeful things and a positive trends. It's quite the opposite, really. We've left you with a lot of difficult situations to deal with. And I don't want to be melodramatic about it, but I think it's going to be up to you and on your shoulders to help save the world. So, as we look in terms of what the summit is going to do, the summit is going to put young people's perspectives in film, on video, for everyone to see. And we're able to see young people's messages in a more profound and engaging way than simply if it was just verbal communication or something on social media. I've seen many of the videos that have been produced through the IYMS format. Some of them are just particularly stunning. All of them are very powerful. It moves me. It moves other people. And this is, I think, is the goal of the summit. For you to come up with those messages that you want to put out there, to move the world, to change the way that we think about things, to change the way that we look about something, and to do that through the power of film and through video. This is something that we're very, very proud to be associated with, because we believe in your messages too. And we want for you to be able to use UNESCO, as I said before, as a platform for your voices and to amplify your voices, because the world needs to hear more from young people, because young people are the now, not just the future generation. Young people are making changes every day in our world, and it's young people whom my generation and my children are going to rely on to make the right decisions and the good decisions for tomorrow. So for the sake of my kids, not just UNESCO, I'm very, very happy to speak to you today. And I wish you a wonderful, engaging, and very fun summit. Enjoy Sweden in the summer. Take care.
So we thank Michael for his encouraging words and continuous support. It means the world to us.
Ah. Our reign as hosts was most splendid. But it is time to pass the torch to this year's hosts.
Before that, we should just take this one last opportunity to thank our amazing sidekick, Joseph Voss.
Where is he? Where is he?
He's just right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Hello?
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 Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Hello. Thank you, Joe, for helping us go through this whole digital experience.
And finally, Alida and Sarah, take it away.
Thank you so very much, Rebecca and Antonio. We look forward for continuing your hosting legacy.
Yes. My name is Alida Svensson, and I'm one of the coordinators for this year's summit.
And my name is Sarah, and I'm also one of the coordination. You heard her.
Yes, just listen to me. No, just moving on to our first order of business. We would like to announce the magnificent Altmer and a music break.
You all must have been wondering about the lovely band, which certainly gave us a much needed life in this opening ceremony. We are so lucky to have all of you tonight.
This is Altmer. They are a band with different kind of nationalities. They started last year in September in Halmstad. Let's give them a huge round of applause as they prepare for the next number.
I can't wait to hear more from them tonight.
Of course. But first, we have a special delegate that we would like to introduce to you tonight.
Yes. Leonardo Jesus Salva Ramirez, our delegate from Peru, is representing our Peruvian partner, INTI, and he would like to share a message from their executive director.
He will be joined by Stephanie Stan, who will be providing us with an English translation. Let's all welcome Leonardo and Stephanie to the stage.
Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Está bien. A continuación voy a dar un mensaje de parte del presidente y de parte de todos en general de INTI, que estamos también apoyando continuamente e incondicionalmente a IYMS. Okay. Los suscritos de presidente y director ejecutivo del Centro de Promoción para el Desarrollo Comunal INTI, que es una organización no gubernamental con sede en Lima, Perú, obviamente, tiene a bien dirigirse y expresar nuestros cordiales saludos a la presidencia, familia de in Spanish, IYMS, y por su intermediario a los jóvenes participantes en el International Youth Media Summit 2022, que se lleva a cabo en Suecia entre el 27 de julio al 10 de agosto del 2022. Considerado que los jóvenes son el futuro, baluartes intergeneracional en la vida social, cultural y económico, la Conferencia de Jóvenes 2022 debe ser un momento de reflexión, pero también de acciones concretas, ya que en cómo cambiar y mejorar para que nuestros niños y jóvenes del mundo globalizado tengan un mejor nivel de vida, ya sea en educación, en salud, respeto a sus derechos, aprendiendo cómo usar los medios de comunicación y la tecnología. Imagino que todos nosotros siempre utilizamos la tecnología y es muy normal hacerlo. También las mejores oportunidades a los jóvenes y sean protagonistas de su propio destino en defensa y sean protagonistas de su propio desarrollo de su comunidad, su país. Nuestra organización estará representada en dicha conferencia por Leonardo Salva Ramírez, que es de parte de INTI sobre el programa de Jóvenes INTI, quien expondrá las actividades de nuestra organización. Desde INTI invocamos a los representantes de IYMS, coorganizadores y a los jóvenes participantes en el mejor de los éxitos, que los resultados que arriben sean a favor, bienestar de los jóvenes y sociedad en general, por la paz, armonía y buen vivir para los jóvenes. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Leonardo. So, the President and Executive Director of the Center for the Promotion of Community Development, INTI, a non-governmental organization based in Lima, Peru, kindly addresses and expresses our cordial greetings to the Presidency, Evelyn, the IYMS family, and through them, to the young participants at the 2022 International Youth Summit in Sweden, taking place from July 27th to August 10th, 2022. Young people are the future intergenerational supporters of society, economy, and culture. And considering this, the 2022 IYMS Summit must be a moment of reflection and also of concrete action for change and improvement, so that young people in the globalized world have a better standard of living in things such as education, health, human rights, learning how to use technology, and social media. and through this to have better opportunities to make their own destinies while developing their own security as well as that of their communities and their country. Our organization, INTI, will be represented at the 2022 IYMS Summit by Leonardo Salva Ramirez of the INTI Youth Program, who will present our organization's work at the summit. From INTI, we wish the representatives of IYMS, the co-organizers, and the young participants the best success, and we hope that the summit results support the well-being of young people and society in general, for the peace, harmony, and good living of young people everywhere. Thank you.
Okay, testing. There we go. Well, Leonardo, you're our very talented speaker. And thank you, Stephanie, for translating for us.
Of course, we would like to meet all of the delegates this way. So, it's time for a country roll call time.
Hey!
When you hear your country's name, just let us know you're here by giving a big cheer. So we start with Afghanistan. Australia.
Yeah. Croatia.
Germany.
Guatemala.
India.
Israel.
Italy.
Jordan.
Woo! Nepal.
Norway.
Pakistan.
Peru.
Poland.
Sri Lanka.
Sweden.
United Kingdom.
The United States of America.
Wales.
Thank you everyone once again, and welcome to Sweden. We are really looking forward to see the short films that you guys will be producing this year.
To give you a feeling of what their challenge will be like, let's do some of last year's PSAs.
Yeah, so next up, the Health PSA, Time and Self by Brandon Ray from Australia, with us here tonight. And 18, No Exception by Alida, standing right here next to me.
I did not know about this.
Roll the clips.
And also the health advice about where the situation is. It would have also not been realistic for the New South Wales government to make a decision about the next 2 weeks, given where we are today. For that reason, I will be announcing now that New South Wales will be, or Greater Sydney, will be in lockdown for a further 4 weeks till the 28th of August. That includes all of Greater Sydney, the Central Coast, the Blue Mountains, Shell Harbour and Wollongong. Whilst we're closely looking at those areas outside the Sydney metropolitan
Test it? Yeah, good. There we-
Hello.
Sorry.
Such powerful stories made in such a short time, and with a digital barrier nonetheless. What a challenge!
I know, it was. Let's see, where am I? There we go. But congratulations to all our IYMS online alumni. I did not write this.
Alumni.
Yeah, you heard Sarah. Oh, geez. But luckily, this year's delegates will be collaborating in person.
Story. Storytelling is such an essential and inspiring and important skill to have, whether you're a diplomat or a filmmaker.
Lucky for you, we have an amazing guest with us at this summit. She has been a marvelous supporter of the IYMS for the last 4 years. Let's welcome Susan Weiss from UNESCO with a big round of applause.
Hello everybody. It's certainly my privilege to be here with you this year and not just be watching on screen like everybody else, so I'm really glad that I could come. And I'm really glad that all of you are able to be here together. So I'm going to say a few serious things because this is a pretty serious event when you think about it, because the 7 issues are not to be taken lightheartedly. And although this is a fun format, it really is about this message, and the reason why you're all here is because I hope that, like me, you have a passion for dealing with these issues and trying to make the world a better place. So why UNESCO and IYMS? Well, my friend Sharaf, who some of you may remember because he was in Sweden when it was last here, he introduced me to Evelyn and Sapan and some of the others, and he said that this is a really wonderful thing, and he kind of passed the torch to me because he said, they're coming your way, they're coming to Sydney. And I was able to participate a little bit in Sydney and see just how powerful this kind of event could be. UNESCO's youth program, which is where I've been working for the last many, many years, basically is about 3 things. The first one is capacity building of young people. Does that sound familiar to people from IYMS? I'm sure it does, because this is also your objective. The second thing is youth voice. Again, does this sound familiar to IYMS? Giving youth voice is what your films do. And then the third part is about community engagement. And look at you all here from all around the world, engaging with each other, exchanging and learning about the different cultures. So UNESCO's youth program is like a perfect marriage with IYMS because it has all of those same objectives. So moving on to film and the 7 issues. Well, film is the medium to me, and the content is the 7 issues. So the medium is certainly a very powerful one, and it gives you the opportunity to present these issues in a way that they can relate to every person. And this is what telling a story is about. So when you're making a film, it's the story that you're telling that's bringing your perspective, and you're trying to make another person understand this. So we want to do something that makes a person change their mind. So the aim of these films is not for you to just present your view. That would be fantastic and could be artistic, but because we hear about the 7 issues, the aim of these stories that you want to tell is to actually change that other person's mindset. And how do you do that? Well, making a good story isn't enough. The story has to have a few things to make that person change their mind. I think the first thing is authenticity. So if you're trying to change the mind of somebody who makes decisions, someone in government, someone in an institution or something like that, presenting a kind of authentic story that rings true to them is going to be a lot more persuasive. Now, this could be in a fairy tale format or a fantasy format, but it still has to have that element of authenticity which you need to bring to it. I think the second thing is using evidence. Now, sometimes we think about, research. Research is where all the evidence and the data and stuff like that is. When you're telling a story, you can actually use the evidence as well. And policymakers and decision makers are more and more persuaded by hard facts. So I think it's really important when you actually think about the issues to make sure that you actually do some research. Get some of that information. Now, you don't have to put graphs and data and all that boring stuff in. You're going to put it in a story and make it interesting and make it relatable to the person. So this is how you're going to convince them. And so I think the next thing is to know that person. Where do their sympathies lie? What is going to make them feel? Because the story is a way to make someone feel emotion. And it's that emotion that really reaches a person in here. So how do you understand that person and how it's going to reach them? This is a really tricky part, because that person may be really a lot different from you. When you think about it, you're all young, and maybe you haven't had the same kind of life experiences, and the person who's doing something that you want to change their behaviour, maybe this is a decision maker, like a 60-year-old man in a high position. How do you relate to them? How do you make things that are going to make them feel the empathy that you feel? You might not get that right, but I urge you to try to think about that and maybe ask questions. Some of us are getting closer to 60 who are here. Maybe we can tell you how we feel, and that might help you to get an idea about how to put that into your film. And so you really need to understand who that person is. And if you don't think about that audience when you're making your film, you might make a lovely film, but you're not going to be able to achieve the impact with your film that you're aiming to do. So that's the other point. And so just to round this off, that the reason why we want young people to make these films is because they do have a lot more impact with decision makers. Decision makers get to read many, many boring reports, statistics charts, lots of figures and things like that. But they don't get to see films presenting the voice and the ideas of young people. And the way that you can present them can actually really gain their interest, because you've got something that is visual, it can look amazing, and it can be so powerful and convey a lot in a short time. And these decision makers want their messages delivered in a concise and direct way so that they understand them and they can react to them. So now the opportunity is with you. Tell this story, put your words into it, put your passion into it, but think about them as well. And I won't be able to be here to see the films at the end, but I think I will be online watching that streaming session. So all the best, and I really look forward to being with you over the next few days. And I really hope that next year more people from UNESCO will be where you are in the US. And this is going to be a lasting partnership, and I really hope that it is. So I'm really glad that now we can be here together. So thank you so much.
Very inspiring words. Thank you so much, Susan. We are so happy to have you this year.
And to conclude our opening ceremony, we have a very fun and special activity for you all. Our dear band, Swinglish, am I right? Our dear band, Altmer, will have prepared a very special musical workshop for you.
Yeah, now we'll be the band. Or is that how it works?
Well, I'm not sure, but let's hear them out. Welcome, guys.
Thinking. So trying to make a workshop where everybody's included, everybody can fit together, was kind of tricky. We'll start off by playing some more tunes, get you all in the mood, and then we get started. So we'll start with some bossa nova. Yeah. The upcoming song is by a famous guitar composer called Francisco Tárrega. It's a tango, so I hope you all join the dance. You know, sometimes when you go out on the bar, feeling romantic, and then just sit down, enjoy the lights, enjoy the music, enjoy the feeling, and you're feeling very dreamy, and then all of a sudden, just meet somebody, and then you lock eyes, it's love at first sight, and then you feel that passion and all the positive emotions, and you just want to dance, a very fiery dance. Here comes something of that specific moment. very much connects you to the sea.